Hey guys, today I'm going to be filming my testimony. So just going to move on to this video because it's going to be long. So this all started 2 years ago in August of 2014. There was this one day when I was just talking to my mom in her salon because she has a salon in her house. Anyway, so I was talking to my mom and all of a sudden I passed out. It's not really normal to pass out, so I don't know. But I've done it before, it wasn't the first time I'd done it, so my mom just thought I hadn't eaten all day, which I didn't. We didn't really have a lot of food in our house. So my mom decided to make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because that's all we had, and we didn't even have regular peanut butter that we normally use. We had organic, not organic, but I don't know, some different brand that we didn't normally use. And so we made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and everything was fine, just moved on with our day. Then a week later, on a Friday, because that happened on a Saturday, I think. So on that Friday, the next Friday, I was going to film a video early in the morning for YouTube, and I had to hurry up and do it because my grandma was coming to pick me up because we were supposed to spend the day with her and run errands with her and stuff. So I filmed the video and everything was fine, and then we left with my grandma. And 20 minutes into the car ride, I started to feel nauseous, so I thought I had the stomach flu or something because my sister Sierra had that a few days before. So, I don't know. I texted my mom and told her, and I told my grandma that I didn't feel good. So, my grandma got me a bag in case I threw up. Long story short, I never threw up, but I felt like I was going to the whole day, and I didn't eat anything at all that whole day until I got home. And, we didn't stop or go home. We just continued with our day, and I just had the bag and stuff. Got home, and it was late at night, 9 or something, when my mom was gonna be home. So she brought me home McDonald's, which I don't know. I still felt nauseous and everything, but I ate it because I didn't eat anything all day. And so I don't know. I kept it down though, which was good. So the next day I woke up expecting to feel normal again, but I still felt the same way. It wasn't any better. So that whole entire day I slept, and then the next day I didn't even go to church because I didn't feel good. So that Monday, my mom decided to take me to the doctor, and the doctor just said that I had an infection, some type of infection, so she gave me antibiotics. And then that Tuesday we left for vacation, and I was fine on Tuesday. I felt better because it was kind of mental. I felt since I had the medicine in me, I felt fine. Then I realized that I didn't feel fine on that Wednesday or something, some day throughout our vacation. It came back and everything, and I had to sleep in my car while my family, the rest of my family, went on with the vacation. And when we got back, I still didn't feel good, so we decided to go to the hospital because I had a fever. My mom called the doctor and asked what she should do, so my doctor told her to take me to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and the hospital said that there was nothing that they could find that was wrong with me, so they just gave me this medicine that was supposed to help with nausea, which it didn't. And then that night I ended up throwing up. We thought it was all going to be over with because then I threw up, and we just thought it was a week-long sickness or something, but it never went away. Even after I threw up, the same feeling still was there. And I also had headaches at the time, and I was super dizzy all the time, and my skin started to break out really bad. I just felt exhausted all the time. There's nothing could help. There's no medicine that helped. We kept going to different doctors and hospitals and everything. We probably went to the hospital 10 times, and each time they ran all these types of tests. They did x-rays and CAT scans and blood draws and every single thing that you can imagine, ultrasounds too. And everything came back normal, and they couldn't find anything, and it was so frustrating to go through because one of the doctors even said that I was probably just faking it, or it was all in my head, which it wasn't. And it was so frustrating to hear all the doctors keep telling me that they couldn't find out what was wrong, and I just felt so hopeless and everything. My cheer coach at the time sent me a picture that she saw on Facebook of foods being recalled. And it turns out that the peanut butter I ate when I passed out, because we didn't have anything, so we just randomly had that peanut butter. We don't normally eat it. So, I ended up eating recalled peanut butter, and I ended up getting salmonella, how you pronounce that, food poisoning, And the doctors never found it, which was really dumb. But yeah, and school started in September, and it was a little bit better then, just a little bit, but not really. And so my mom decided to take me to a natural doctor type person, and they gave me like these herbs or whatever, taking like drinks and stuff, and that didn't help at all. Moving on into like the winter time. So my mom thought, well, maybe you're allergic to like gluten or something, and so she took me off of gluten, and I didn't eat gluten for like a couple months. But like I didn't notice a change really. Like it was a little bit better, but I didn't really notice like a drastic change because I still felt that way. So I just went back to eating gluten. Then I ended up going to another natural doctor, and he decided to test like everything in my body, like my DNA, with like my hair. So they like had to cut off like some of my hair to test it. Came back, he said it was like something to do with my thyroid, but he didn't say what it was. He just said, oh, you probably have problems with your thyroid, which makes sense because my mom had thyroid disease. My doctor diagnosed me with Hashimoto's, which is a form of thyroid disease, and they refused to treat me because I was too young. I was 14. I don't know. I went on for like a year. Sophomore year, I decided to get tested for allergies. We went to an allergist, and they decided to test me through like blood drawing, like drawing my blood. I was allergic to gluten, wheat, dairy, and I was also deathly allergic to peanuts. They took me off all of those foods that I was allergic to, and like things kind of improved, but there's still like problems with me being tired and like the occasional nausea, like it wasn't constant. There was a church service at my church, and these people were there praying over people who needed to be healed, and I wasn't gonna go up there because I was like, I kind of just like gave up hope then, because like all of the doctors and everything, they couldn't find anything. But my family kept telling me to go up there and stuff, so I like fought them on it, but then I felt like I needed to go up there, and so I went up there and they prayed over me, and I was supposed to get another allergy test because like everything was still bad. Like everything didn't improve. I was supposed to get an allergy test the next day, so they prayed over the allergy test, and they prayed that I would be healed from whatever was like causing me all of that stuff. And the next day I went to the allergist, and I was like, they're going to tell me that I'm not allergic to any of the foods and everything, and I'll be healed of the food allergies. And I ended up being allergic to all of those things still, and I was also allergic to soy, which I was like, okay, why did we even pray? Like I started to lose hope then, because I was like, alright, why do we even pray over me if I'm just not going to get healed and everything? Like, my allergist decided to, she heard my story and everything, and she decided to feel my neck, and she said, you have a nodule on your thyroid. And I said, okay, what's the big deal about that and stuff? And then she was like, well, it could be cancerous and everything, but it probably isn't, but we should probably just check it to make sure to see how big it is, to see if we have a biopsy done. So I had to get an ultrasound on my neck, and I had to get 2 of those done just to like make sure they did it right and stuff. And there ended up being a 1-inch nodule on my thyroid, which was big enough to get a biopsy done. So I had to get a biopsy done, and a biopsy is when they take the needles and stuff and they stick it in there, and they pull out samples of the nodule to see if it's cancerous or not. So after that, we had a follow-up appointment with my doctor, and she told me like everything that was going to happen with the biopsy and stuff. And she said there was a 5 to 10% chance that it was cancerous, so I shouldn't be worried. And so I was like, okay, whatever. August 15th, 2016. And I came home from cheer practice, and my parents were sitting at the table, the kitchen table, and I went up to them, and they told me that the doctor called and that I had thyroid cancer. And at first, like, it didn't hit me, it didn't register, and I laughed about it and stuff, and I was like basically in denial about it. And then I started crying because I was like, okay, this is actually real, this is actually happening. And then my mom told me that we're going to try not to worry and like be strong about this, because when she got the phone call from the doctor, she heard a voice say, for I know the plans I have for Selena. And if you don't know, that is a scripture, Jeremiah 29:11 from the Bible, and it says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope in the future. Because she heard that, it made me know that I was going to be okay. They told me that they were going to take out my whole entire thyroid. We met with a woman from my church who had the same thing done to her, and we talked to her about it, and she gave me like more like comfort and stuff in the situation. And found out like that thyroid cancer is the most treatable form of cancer, and it's also really common. So on August 24th, I went in for surgery, and they took out my entire thyroid and some of the lymph nodes on the side. And when the pathology report came back, they said that 5 out of the 11 lymph nodes that they took out were infected with the cancer. After that, I was put on thyroid replacement medicine, because when they take out your thyroid, all the hormones are taken out of your body, and your thyroid makes 5 hormones. And yeah, so they took out all of those hormones that my body was making, and then they put me back on one of the hormones after the surgery, and it was like such a low amount that it didn't really do anything. And they put me on that for like a few weeks, and then I had to get a full body scan done to see if I still had the cancer. And to go on that, I was supposed to take radioactive iodine and go on a low iodine diet, so it wouldn't like affect the results and stuff, because radioactive iodine makes your body like any leftover thyroid tissue or cancer cells, it would light up on the scan with the radioactive iodine. So, and I also had to go off my medicine at that time to raise my TSH level, which is like a thyroid thing. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah. So your TSH level is supposed to be at 0, and when they took me off of medicine, they had to wait for it to go up to 30 so that they could give me the scan. And a week after they took me off of the medication, usually patients take like 4 weeks to get it up to 30. Well, after a week, mine was at 150, which was really bad. I wasn't even supposed to be able to get out of bed because I'd be so exhausted. But I actually like had strength. I was still like stunting and tumbling and cheering and everything, and I was still making it through the school day because God gave me the strength to do that. And then on September 22nd, I went in to get my full body scan done, and I just kept like praying. A few hours of waiting, my doctor, who was a Christian, which was really cool, she told me that it was the best thyroidectomy she'd ever seen, done in like all of her years of being a doctor, and that whoever did my surgery had the hand of God helping them, because I was cancer free and there was only like a microscopic dot of thyroid tissue left, so I had to go on radioactive iodine for 3 days. And when you go on that, you're not supposed to be around anyone, so I had to stay up in my room and like put saran wrap and plastic wrap and everything like all over everything inside my room, like all the furniture and everything that I was supposed to be touching. The dot of tissue was gone, and I was fully healed from that. I started on my new my thyroid medication again. I was still on one hormone though, and you're supposed to be on all 5. And so just like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I started on all 5, and I'm starting to get energy back and everything. And it's still a work in progress, but I'm thankful that I'm not where I used to be. And this like situation, it taught me to pray more and more, because I had my whole entire church praying over me and everything. I didn't even think to pray that I wouldn't have cancer. I was just like in denial that anything bad could ever happen to me. I don't like saying this, but I'm glad that I got the cancer. Like, I look at it as a blessing, because if I didn't get my thyroid taken out, I wouldn't have gone on the thyroid medication, and I would still be feeling like crap and everything because they refused to treat me. It sucks that I had to get cancer to be able to be put on the medicine, but you know, I just look at it as a blessing. I'd like to tell you guys that I'm like healed of like the food allergies and everything, but I am not yet. And we're still praying about that, and if God doesn't decide that that's in His will to heal me of the food allergies, then that's completely fine with me. I'm like okay with that, because I've gotten like healthier and stuff, like my face cleared up, and I lost some weight and everything. So that's my testimony. Showed me to depend on God and trust in Him for the future instead of being worried about it. Like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!